You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, everybody? It's Al Mega. Yes, a capitalist Al Mega. I need to let my head breathe today, but let me tell you. Welcome to the Comic Crusaders podcast. And yes, today, I've been on an indie streak the last couple of weeks, right? Doesn't change. Today, we're talking to another awesome indie press. It is called Livid Comics. You heard me right, Livid Comics. And let me introduce first the one and only writer on this organization, Mr. John Durgin, and co-owner. Wepa, what's poppin', kiddo?
How's it going? Thanks for having us on.
No problem. And let me add one of your teammates over here, the bogey smoking homie himself, the one and only Joel Vanpatten. What's up?
What's up, brother? Thank you so much for doing this tonight. We're excited to be on with you, so appreciate your time.
Man, I'm happy to talk indie comics all day and every day. Let's get real here, man. This is Comic Crew. We are made for you guys. So, for real. Let's get into it. The story of Livid Comics. Where does Livid Comics hail from? What are we talking about here? What is it all? And John, go ahead. I'll allow you to start, and then we go to Joel.
Yeah, so Livid Comics, we started it less than a year ago, probably about 9 months ago. We started on this journey to create a single comic book initially. Joel and I worked together in our day jobs up here in New Hampshire, and we just happened to sit next to each other in the office. Joel's art was hanging up around the office. We used to talk about art. He knew I wanted to write, and then when COVID hit, we started talking about potentially doing a comic together, and here we are. 9-10 months later, and we got a company now. So
wow, good for you. And check it out, Rogelio Rios. Like, stay livid. Wepa. There we go.
That's our boy, Rogelio. What's up, my brother?
Excellent. Tuning in and showing the love and support. What about Joe? What does livid mean to you?
Yeah, so like John was saying, man, so early on my background, I was a fine artist doing oil painting and illustration, that kind of thing. And then the fine art world got a little bit slow with the COVID thing. So for 10 years, I've been doing oil painting and that kind of stuff. But the galleries, like the openings, got really slowed down. So I said, why don't I go back to my roots as an illustrator and go back into comics? So I said, I remember John, we were just talking, back and forth, texting each other, different paintings and drawings and things. I said, hey, listen, Johnny, I don't want to write the book, but I'll draw a book for you. What do you got? And he said, well, remember that story that we were talking about back at the office when we were there? I said, yeah, well, let's go with that. So I kind of put the fine art on hold, and here we are doing Livid Comics. So, it's been an awesome run so far. Over the past 9 months, been a whirlwind, but it's been awesome every moment.
So I'm curious here. So you guys work together, and this is how this kind of got put together. But how did that conversation come up, and that you guys kind of figured out that you were of a like mind?
It was. I used to be reading a lot of horror novels on my lunch breaks and stuff, sitting next to Joel, and I dabbled in drawing too. So we used to talk about art all the time, and at that time in the office, before we were working from home, I had no idea he had any interest in doing comic stuff or sequential art. So it was when we were working from home, he knew I wanted to write books, and he just messaged me, and it was a text message, said what he just mentioned, right? Like, any ideas for any comics? And I actually started writing Yule, which is our first comic book. I started writing it as a novel before he and I talked, and that's the story I presented to him. Like, I think this would actually be better as a comic book. So okay. This is great. Let's do this. And we've changed so much of the story since then, but that's where it all started.
Oh, excellent. Check that out, man. So how's the journey been for you guys as an independent label and basically kind of very fresh on the scene? How's the journey been with you? Has it treated you guys well?
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. So, like, in my past, I was in an indie rock, hard rock punk band, and I find a lot of similarities. There you go.
You're a rocker, kiddo. Oh, check you out.
I can tell by the hair, man. I still got it, right? So I was a drummer in a metal band, right? Did all that stuff. But I'm finding the same exact similarities are happening, like the indie world, like they were happening, in the indie comic world, like they're happening in the music world back then, was a lot of networking. Hey man, check out this new title or check out this band. Like it's the same thing. And here I am, like 20, 25 years removed, dating myself from that scene, finding the same similarities again. So it's really cool to go back in and have that same type of camaraderie and everything. And it's awesome that it's still going, and it's a little bit better now, even with the internet and everything else like that. So it's been a real trip with that, and it's been great.
I mean, not just the internet, but like I've spoken on a previous podcast, the acceptance of us geeks into the culture. Because I come from an era where, I had to hide the fact that I was reading comic books. You know what I mean? And now it's like, if you're not reading a comic book, you're the one that's weird.
Right. Yeah. I played sports growing up, and I was a hardcore geek too, right? So same thing. It was like you almost had to, like, if you went into my bedroom as a kid, like I had a treasure chest full of comic books, but playing sports, I never really talked to a lot of my friends about that stuff until probably high school when we started making like horror movies and stuff. But
wait, you made horror movies too? Get out of here, kiddo.
Terrible movies.
Hey, but the fact that you took action and tried is, again, I'm always amazed by that. Some people at least try. I've always been a horror fan, but I've never tried. You know what I mean? It'll probably be too violent, and then I'll get banned anyway. So does it really matter?
Yeah.
Amazing. So actually, I have a little PowerPoint presentation just to kind of share what you guys are up to in the Livid universe. Let me pop this bad boy on screen, and allow me that I had to put out color in the background because it was like, all right, I had to do it. So let's get into it. Boom. Let's start talking about this. What's this? Introduce.
This is Joel's Drew Struzan inspired poster. This was our trade card for our Kickstarter event, but this basically shows all of the characters from the Yule universe. Most of these characters aren't even in book one, but I'll let Joel talk about it. But when he sent this to me, I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Oh shit, the Vanpatten verse. Let's do it, kiddo. What is it?
There you go. Yeah. So like Johnny said, it was like Drew Struzan inspired, right? He did, guys that don't know, he did like the Goonies, Indiana Jones, Star Wars posters. So this is kind of my attempt to emulate him. Good luck, because he's his own creature that's on another plateau. All right. But we got all the characters from book 2. This was set up basically like a trade card for us, so we wanted to give out limited edition. The sacred geometry that you see on the cube, we call the cube the Kasi. That's in the lower right-hand corner. The sacred geometry actually is going to play an important role in the story. Kind of some different powers that this box has. It can travel through time in different dimensions, but different things may have different abilities and things as we go along. So that's it there. And then the other characters have been having fun kind of creating these guys, and we've really expanded out. John and I just talking that we might eventually see some backstory spin-offs for some of these other characters too, because they have such we already have it all fleshed out of why are they doing this, where do they come from, what motivates them, and we've already gone that far already, and we're not even done with this book yet, so it's pretty exciting.
Great. And you can see one of our viewers, Kiss Me Comics Salute, was like, beautiful colors. And you got ASAP Comics, another amazing publisher, a friend of ours, is like, that's amazing. I love Livid Comics. Great guys right there. Paul Hayden, salute.
Paul's great.
Yeah, Paul's the man, He's doing great things for the Spraxia Foundation. Make sure to check that out on ASAP Comics UK, folks. There's some real stuff going on there. Oh, look at this cover. Gorgeous.
This was Joel wanted to do a horizontal cover. This ended up being a variant that was exclusive to Kickstarter as well.
Nice.
When we hit a certain stretch goal, basically anyone that spent $25 or more got this cover, just thrown in as a second issue, basically. So we tried to hide the creatures for as long as we could, and then we had a movie trailer, a trailer that we had made by a guy out in Hollywood, Scotty. Okay. And so then the monsters, cat was out of the bag. People saw what they look like. So Joel went for it and drew them on the cover. This is a lot of people's favorite cover, actually. And
I mean, this is sick, man. It's just this. I love the tagline. What if the most wonderful time of the year lasted an eternity? I mean, but you know what? I don't make enough money for this time to last. Jesus Christ. Could you imagine the president every day? I'll be broke in no time, son. I'll be murdered within a week, probably.
That tagline actually ties into the the plot. You know, there's time travel, suspending time.
Oh.
This Kasi cube can do all that.
Oh.
So it's a very important device, and as you can see, not all nice people want it. You know,
Apparently not. I mean, look at this guy, man. Who is this? This is a Mets pitcher, no doubt, because they can't find the strike zone.
Is that DeGrom throwing the ball?
Oh no. Yeah, I love DeGrom.
What is this though? This is a great looking image though, and freaky at the same time. What's popping here?
This is our newest title. Issue 1 is going to be out probably next month. It's called Dead Ball. It's about a baseball player in the 1900s during the dead ball era, hence the name. And he gets his career cut short by a gruesome injury. He's depressed. He's drunk. He he ends up running into this magician at a carnival who has these supernatural abilities, who offers to heal him for a return favor in the future. And he's desperate. He agrees to it. He has no idea what that return favor is. And years later, they come for that return favor. And
did he not read Spawn? Do you not know what happens?
Yeah, deal with the devil sort of situation, right? So
exactly.
It's too good to be true. It's probably too good to be true, and he's going to find out the hard way. But it's a horror thriller revenge story. So, but issue 1 will be out sometime next month, and we have Ruggiero, the guy that commented at the beginning of the show. He's the one drawing it, and it's incredible. Yeah, his artwork. He didn't do this cover. This was Brian Silverback's, but his sequential art is awesome.
I mean, this is a great looking cover nonetheless, and freaky as a base for. Oh shit! Look at that. The hell?
Yeah. So when you think of the carnival, right, you think of carnies and these creepy people. So I researched a lot of carnies from the early 1900s, and basically I tried to take some of the creepiest looking ones and try to find a story for them. But if you've seen, they have like the dog man or the wolf man from the early 1900s who's just covered in hair. But that guy looks like a teddy bear in real life. I told Ruggiero, I was like, make this guy look like he's like in a werewolf transformation. Like he's
this is
covered
horrible.
in hair. Yeah,
you're giving me a crotch shot with that smile on his face. I'm like, yo, I don't trust you already, yo. What's going on here? What are you trying to tell me here?
Yeah. Well, I guess there should be some context behind why we're looking at this. He's looking down at a family hiding in the cellar. So this is a splash page in the book. So
I'm like, yo, how short is this guy or gal that's looking up at him like this? My God. I mean, but it is creepy. I mean, just the detail in the face. That smile is creepy as hell, son.
Yeah.
Great job. Awesome. Great job. And again, I'm a big fan of the black and white, so a great usage of the lines and the blacks and whites here, yo, for real.
Honestly, I mean, we're still gonna do a color version. Joel's gonna color it, but we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both because we fell in love with the black and white that Ruggiero was giving us. We're like, we have to do a black and white edition. So
this is the beautiful poster and freaky at that. Hello there. Oh God.
It's got like a Frank Miller art noir feel to it, you know. And, this is Ruggiero's second book ever. So I mean, to think about that.
What?
The second second sequential book.
Yo, Kendall, why aren't you on with us, man? Shit.
Right.
Look at this. This looks gorgeous, brother. Yo, felicidades. Yo, good stuff, kiddo. For real. Wow, this looks amazing. I mean, I just love the scenery here, the motion, the paneling, the emotion. He captures everything really well, man. Wow.
He's crushing it. Yeah, we're super excited about the book, and
thank you for doing black and white, because I know us at International Comic Crusaders are big fans of the black and white from back in the day. So to see that creators nowadays are embracing this again, wonderful. Love it.
Nice.
Oh, look at that, yo.
Yeah, we didn't want to give too much away, but some of the early pages. I mean, the book starts off with a bang. It's obviously I'm telling a little bit about the overall story here on the show, but anyone that's picking up the book to read it for the first time is going to be like, what the hell is going on right now? Because it just starts off so intense. There you go, Ruggiero. Yeah.
And there goes the one about the baseball player, I presume, right?
Yeah. Well, those pages were part of the baseball book.
Oh, really?
They take place in the future. So the book starts off in the future. with them basically coming for their return favor, and then it flashes back to some baseball scenes, and you find out why they're there. So
Does he purposely look like Joel Vanpatten? What's going on here?
the baseball player's name is Ted Miller. I named him after Ted Williams because we're up here in New England, so we're
I
Red Sox guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And what's awesome about that too is Rogerio is he's in Brazil, so he doesn't have exposure to baseball, so he's drawing this, just and he doesn't have any baseball background. Right?
You guys are teaching him the wrong way. Hey, Rogerio, be a Yankee fan. That's the real team. Let me not start that war here with these wonderful guests. But I bleed blue. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a Giant fan. I'm sorry. Yeah. It is what it is.
I mean, I hope you'll have us on I was gonna say I hope you'll have us on in the future because I'm a Cowboys fan too. So literally every team you probably hate. So
listen, I have a Cowboys fan on the Comic Crusaders, and he's still with us. So that should tell you that I'm a fair person, even though I may not respect you during that season. I can't stand the Cowboys. Just want to say that. Damn it, you mentioned them. You got me emotional now. All right, so what's popping right here with the future? Now, I mean, actually, not even the future, but the current. So we got this. Where can we find like the Livid Comics stuff? Are you guys distributing? Are you looking for distributorship? I mean, are you in stores? How's that looking?
Yeah. You can take
talk to that if you want. Yeah. Sure. So right now we have Yule 1 is out. It's done. It's printed. So you can get the standard edition on our website right now, lividcomics.com. We have that. We have a digital version too. If you guys want to download, that's, obviously less money. In 2 weeks on the 18th and 19th of September, we have Granite State Comic Con coming up in Manchester, New Hampshire. So we'll be there. Nice. We were hoping to have a Dead Ball issue 0, maybe as like an ash can or a mini. And that may be available. We're trying to get that through the printer right now. So that's coming up. Yule 2 is 2 pages away from being fully penciled. So that's coming up as well. Going into stores, the plan that I wanted to do, or I think John agrees with this too, is maybe have 2, 3, 4 issues done in the canon, and then start to bring out issue 1 into the store. So that way the clients, the customers coming in don't have to wait 7 months for issue 2 to come out. I can just go boom, 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 boom each month and get it out. So it's going to be, this particular story is a 5 or 6 issue story arc. So we wanted to make sure that we can get them out timely. So I'm working 3 to 4 months ahead, which is great. Oh, wow. That seems to be the right time frame. Yeah, just so it comes out all together. Then when it's all done, it's probably going to be out in a full graphic novel or trade paperback. You can get all 6 bound up into one package. So that's coming up too. We got a couple other things in the canon. I don't know if we're at liberty to discuss, but we got some like non-disclosure.
We can talk loose. We can talk loosely.
You can talk loose. Come on, get loose.
I'll talk loose. I'll talk loose. So, we've been connecting with a lot of like horror authors and stuff, and they've been approached by some people that want to do some film work. And so we might be talking with them about doing some sequential versions of their horror novels. So that's what's that's also right.
Man, that's awesome, guys. This is what I want to hear. A young up and coming indie company already making moves on this scale. I mean, that's wonderful. So what is it that you want to see in the future for Livid?
Well, first of all, with our own stuff, again, this all started with us just doing a book, and then I give Joel credit. He thought bigger initially. I was just thinking, I'm writing, and then, we came up with the idea to just let's do our own company and go bigger than that, right? So we want to work with other indie creators. That's one of the biggest things. This networking is so huge, and we want to, for example, on our con table, we're going to have 3 or 4 other indie creator comics on our con table that we've talked to those indie creators to get their books on our table, just to really get them up here in New England. So we want some of those creators, to come to us, potentially publish their books for them or work with us on new titles. Personally, I always wanted to write novels. So my dream is to eventually publish some novels or novellas through Livid as well.
So novelas, bro. Don't tell me you got some Latino when you're talking about those novelas. Maria, I've been with another woman all these years. No, Mario, no. Type shit. I can see it already, bro. John Durgin novelas on Univision. Let's get it done, bro.
I can't roll my R's. I'd be screwed. So
you got me, bro. I help you, man.
All right.
Come on, bro. It's that simple, bro. I love it. All right. So, what about you, Joe? Man, what do you see for the future? I mean, what's your vision too for Livid?
Yeah, we'd like to scale things out. I always think big. I would like to bring in some of the best artists that are out there. So if you're really good, like we'll kind of find you kind of thing and give them an opportunity to get out there. And one of the things that we're fortunate enough to be in a position is we can help people get over that next step. And maybe something like they have a fantastic story, great art, but they don't have enough money for printing costs. Well, we want to talk to you, right? We want to see what you have. Maybe we can help you, right? Maybe you are a writer and you don't have an artist. We can put your two together and make that happen. So a lot of that type of stuff and working to scale there. So we focus, horror, thriller, sci-fi. What's the other one? Suspense, right? So we do all that stuff, kind of like the old EC Comics. I'm a big fan of Golden Age EC Comics guys. I got the Bill Gaines look. I'm gonna look like him when I'm old, right?
Eventually.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Another thing with like local comic shops. So we got, this is really good news. We got a new one opening out here in the country, and we want to be able to go to those guys and say, hey, listen, man, here's 10 books that we really like from people that we network with. We've already bought them from these other writers and bring them to the LCS. They don't have to do anything. Just say, hey, Livid knows they've filtered this stuff. They know what's good. They know what's out there. We can trust what they're bringing to the counters here, and they're going to sell. So that's what we want to do too, is bring everybody into New England.
So
and
besides
do a
being
distribution.
that's what I'm saying. So besides this being a label for yourself, but you also want to help in the distribution of other folks' projects.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful.
Absolutely.
Dude, see, folks, that's the spirit of indie that you will never find in the big two. You see that? That's support for their own, not even being associated with a label. How beautiful of a thing is that? Okay, so listen, I know I have a lot of creators that listen. If they wanted to contact y'all to show you and showcase their wares, where can they contact you?
Joel's got these things knocked down here, so he's got these all memorized. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could you could find myself or John on Facebook. We're pretty exposed there. At least I am. I don't know. You could email us too at info@lividcomics.com. Yeah, there's our link tree, so you can get all that stuff: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just post up a stuff or private message us. We're pretty responsive. I do most of the Instagram and Facebook. John's doing Twitter because we just can't be all things at all places all the time, right? So if you want John, get him more on Twitter. If you want me more Instagram, Facebook, one of us will get you. So.
So what's the future of Livid Comics looking like right now? I mean, what's on the pipeline that we haven't mentioned yet?
Well, we've dropped a couple things that we haven't told anyone else yet about, working with potentially converting some horror novels to sequential art. We have a few other things in the works that we can't talk about.
Do you so can I ask, does it stay in the horror narrative, or would you be splitting into other genres? Or
no,
just horror?
For now, I mean, at least that feel to it, right? Like Joel said, it could be thriller, it could be sci-fi, but it has to have that horror feel to it, not just straight up sci-fi. We Rise of the Independents, I love it. Yeah. So we have a podcast too that we started a couple months ago. We're 14 episodes in now.
And how's that journey been for you?
Awesome.
It's a trip. It's crazy.
It was an accident. It was an accident. We did a live.
Wait a minute. What do you mean an accident?
We did a live Q&A. We did a live Facebook Q&A to promote Yule 1 during our Kickstarter. It got a couple hundred people that watched because our Facebook group's built up pretty nice so far. And then we did it again the week later, and then we had people reaching out to us saying, "Hey, can I come on and talk about my stuff?" And Joel and I were like, screw it, let's do a podcast. So instead of Facebook Live, we got StreamYard, and then here we are. I mean, we've gotten some big names. I mean, we ultimately, kind of along the lines of what you said, right, is like we want to have some of the bigger names on from the mainstream side of things to mainly put eyes on the indie people as well.
Yes.
When we have indie people on, it's going to feel like a big deal that, hey, I got on a show where they interviewed, XYZ from Marvel or from Image. I
get it. I mean, you're right now on a podcast where I've spoken to Todd McFarlane, Tyler Mane, Robert Rodriguez, Patrick Osborne. I mean, I've spoken to some heavy hitters, kiddo. I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'm so proud of that. And then I'm able to leverage that and bring on amazing independence. Like, yo, we're about everybody, whether you're on top or just starting out. So I love that you kind of do the same thing, and that's amazing. As a publisher, you don't hear that from a publisher where even if you're not down with us, I want to show you the love. Like, that's amazing on you guys, yo. God bless.
Yeah.
You know what?
We'll
When you give on that level, God only blesses you 10 times more. So, you guys are on the right track.
I appreciate it.
That's it. We'll talk to anybody too. It doesn't have to just be comics, man. If we find you're interesting or have something going on, we have some film producers coming on. We talk to some guys that are all about fitness and organic farming. Like, if you're an interesting person, we want to talk to you. Like,
we do the same.
We love it.
Comic Crusaders does the same. Whether it's health, motivational, technology, blockchain, comic books, movies, music, we got you, yo. Again, that's the thing about us comic nerds. We don't just love comics. We love so many things that it's kind of crazy to talk to us if you start a conversation, because we will go from comics to tech to movies real quick. Music, like, all right, what? And I'm pretty sure Joel could go from all that and start talking about cigars, which I have no ideas about. And put me onto the best cigars.
Whatever you want to talk about. We could do.
Whiskeys and cigar, bro. I got you. Listen, you guys gotta go on It's Drunken Chat with my boy Lucas Fashina and open up a bottle of whiskey and chat with them there. You'll have a black. It's a speculation show, but they cover so much of pop culture that I think that you fit, especially with that cigar. I gotta see that glass. I want to see you in a leather chair, in a robe, and a fireplace behind you now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to get cold. I'll be inside, and that'll be happening. So it's going to get cold.
Everybody, Joel Vanpatten is going to turn into like the Hugh Hefner of comics all of a sudden during the winter.
There you go.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Oh, shit, poor John. He's like, no, don't tell him that. It's going to be too much, bro. You're going to gas him.
For real, like when you said, like Joel has this random knowledge of pretty much any weird thing you can imagine. So like we had a horror author on our show last week, Ronald Malfi, and they hit it off about the music industry, like because Ronald has his own band, and Joel happened to play down there years ago, and they started talking about all these bands that like were on the indie scene. And I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? I don't know.
John is completely lost. Like, okay, just nodding his head. Right? And sending messages. Okay, can we talk something I know? Poor guy.
Yeah. I brought a horror author on to talk horror books, and they're sitting there chit chatting about bands, and I'm like, I'm lost.
Hey man, you know what? Some music is horror, so it all depends, bro. Hopefully his music is not horror, but wonderful. Hey, have you guys done Universal Horror Nights? I just did that the other day.
No,
we haven't.
Oh man, a lot of fun. The Beetlejuice will blow your mind. Beetlejuice. They have a Beetlejuice walkthrough house. They have the haunting. What was it? Haunted Hill, whatever, from Netflix.
Yeah.
The Texas Chainsaw, which takes you through every movie in the walkthrough.
Oh wow!
Which is
where is
cool.
this?
This is in Orlando, Florida, Universal.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so much fun. Like, I'm a big horror fan. And I went in a little cosplay outfit, which I never do. I was in a trench looking on me. I was the meanest looking Puerto Rican on the scene for sure. And let me tell you, I wasn't jumping, but they had some great makeup and costumes, and the houses were fun for sure. The only thing I despised was the $13 hamburger. Yes, you heard me right. $13 for a half-cooked hamburger.
Yeah.
And Kiss Me Comics says Kentucky whiskey is the bomb.
My son would love going to that thing. But so
kids would love it.
Yule was inspired from my son's love for Halloween and horror, because it all actually named the main character after him. So he thinks it's a big deal. But does your kid? Do you involve your family at all? Do either of you involve your family at all in this creative endeavor? Yeah, we both do.
That's beautiful. Another one.
Yeah, my son, obviously, he's looked at every time Joel sends me a page, he's looking at it with me on my phone, and obviously we've read the book. He's got the poster up. He's got the Livid T-shirt he wears. But Joel actually, you can tell his family gets involved too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So how many members of your family involved?
I got 3 kiddos. They're 4, 6, and 8. So I got 2 girls and a boy. And one of the things with comics too is that they're at that age where they're starting to learn how to read. So I'm a big advocate for child literacy. I send out, actually do like pen pal with kids. So if they write me and give me their address, I will write them back and do little singer, illustrations for them as well.
Oh,
Send them off to them. I used to do that with like Eastman Laird and like Ben Edlund back in the day with a Tick when I was a kid.
let
I'd
me
put 'em
get a
up here.
broom. Let me get a broom. He's dropping crazy names right now. What's popping?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I used to do that. And it was so cool when I was a kid to get that stuff back from those guys because they were my heroes when I was that age. So I do
I
the same
get
thing,
you.
hopefully for the kid. I'm not saying I'm a hero, but I do it for the kids. Just make sure
But you
keep
are
bringing
a
kids right.
hero.
Yeah,
Bro,
try
you're
to keep it
doing a
going. Yeah.
positive thing, man. That's amazing. You do things for kids. Y'all both involve your kids, and it's kind of funny how every single independent creator out of the last 3 shows I've done all have their family involved in one way
They
or
do the
another.
modeling. Yeah, the
Yeah.
poses, the modeling. If I can't figure out an
Oh.
angle, get my daughter set up. I'm like, no, honey, put your arm out here. Reach out a little bit. So she's in some of the drawings and things. So
Who
she
needs photo
poses out for
reference
me.
when you got kids, right?
That's it. Well, good thing they're
Just
the right
stand there
age,
and
right? So
model, kids. That's why I birthed you.
yep. And then the
That's
girls
why
will
I
fight.
made
Say,
you.
hey, why does my daughter get to do it all and I don't get to do it? I say, well, we'll get another character to do. But my sister get to
I
do it.
love it. I love it. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. So, we're nearing towards the end here. One of the key things, always, man. I mean, you guys are fun. You guys are doing it. You guys are young, but you guys are so open and seem to be doing so much. But in this short journey you've had, what are the kind of the lessons you've learned and advice you could give to people that may want to follow in those very same footsteps?
The first thing I would say is network, network, network.
Wepa. Truth.
It's, there's obviously some bad seeds in every industry, right? But we've had a lot of love. I mean, we've been on a lot of shows. When we were promoting Yule for our Kickstarter, we were on like almost 20 podcasts promoting that thing,
Wow.
and they all had a great time, and we've reached out to people that have talked to us and helped us, and it's so important. Like you mentioned, ASAP Comics, we were chatting with them, and they were networking with us, and it's just super important. That would be my biggest tip is, talk to anybody and everybody, whether they're
Yes.
new, whether they've been in the industry for a long time. Don't be afraid to ask. Most of us are willing to help. So
Don't make enemies, make friends.
yeah,
That it is so key in the development, especially of a brand. And that's what Livid is. It's an amazing brand. So, I can't wait to see, John, what else you got on deck. What about Joe for you? What are your, lessons in the journey that you could share with someone?
Sure. Yeah, I would say first and foremost is you got to have a passion. It's got to be just cranking all the time, right? You got to be enthusiastic about this. I see a lot of people, they get discouraged after the first book and like, oh man, I'm gonna hang it up. Like you're gonna run into a lot of rejection. That's normal. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody that we've talked to says, don't be surprised if 85% of your stuff gets rejected or you get a bad review. All that stuff. But you got to stay positive. You got to stay enthusiastic about it, and that carries over with your personality when you're doing events like this. When I'm talking with people like yourself, people see that stuff and they sense nonsense, right? It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be a grind. Okay, there's going to be people that want to do books as a hobby, and that's great, that's okay, but understand, are you looking to do this as a hobby, or do you want to do this something more, I don't know, larger scale, right? And if you want to do it larger scale, you're going to be up till 2 a.m. every single night texting each other back and forth. You're going to be
And
doing
get
this 7
nothing
days
done.
a week. You get nothing done. I mean, it's almost, I always use the analogy, it's like a table saw that's on inside the shop, and you can't, even if you unplug the thing, it's still running. That thing is in your mind and it's just going. And if you got that, it's going to be more than a hobby for you, and you're going to just have to do it and keep pushing it out. But it's going to be work, right? So you got to understand that it's not going to come easy. They always say, I always say the strongest foundations are built upon the stones of adversity. So don't be surprised if you run into hiccups and hard times along the way, because that's normal. So keep going and going and going.
Bro, no one has ever laid that truth out like that. It's true. Unless you go through some stumbles, some blocks and all, you're not going to appreciate your journey. It's
Nobody's had
just
it
part
easy
of
from
it.
the jump. Nobody's
Yeah,
done anything worth a damn. It's got it easy.
exactly.
Never.
I mean, and it was never an overnight success either. A lot of people are like, oh, they made it. And I don't understand how. Why? Because if you dig into their story, they probably were on the grind 15, 20 years before they made it.
yeah.
I mean, and those that make it overnight, it doesn't last. So don't be envious of that. You want those people that worked to get there. Those are the people that last, especially like what you guys are doing. You've been working, massive amount of months to reach a plateau, And to you, it's still not enough. And I love that, the hunger of an entrepreneur. Love it. It's what this is all about, man. This is what's going to make you eventually a number one component in the indie comic book universe. You guys got this, man. I'm more than positive that the way your energy, your passion, and the fact that you're also about community, you're already blessed more than you know. I not foresee nothing but good things for you guys. Absolutely.
It's awesome. We appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you guys coming on and chit chatting with me. Like I said, I'm not gonna take too much of your time because I know you guys gotta pump out work and promote the wonderful Livid brand. And one thing, I love the logo, dude. I love that with the vampire looking teeth or wolf, whatever it is that you're going for there. I don't want to assume because wolf got the same type teeth. So what are we going for there? Vampires or wolves, or is it up to the reader?
Exactly. I think it's just supposed to look scary and fangs, right? Like it's I don't think you can take it how you want it, but it gets the point across. It does. When we came to an agreement, we were messing around with you should see the stuff we were messing around with the logos. But
you're talking to Al Mega. Look at my Comic Crusaders podcast, and that went through several iterations.
I used to throw up script too back in the day, so I used to write and do all that stuff. So that's good. Right on.
Excellent. I love it. Yeah. You guys are awesome, man. You guys have such a great energy. So once again, folks, check it out. Need you guys to visit and support this wonderful organization right here at lividcomics.com. Do you want to know where to follow them? Very simple. Go to Linktree, all right? Look up Livid Comics or linktr.ee/Livid Comics. You can follow them everywhere. But of course, check them out on YouTube and check out their amazing show, where they have these awesome guests as well, man. Because not just are they a publisher, but they're also podcasters and vidcasters kicking ass in the business. Now, do you also want to share your personal socials? Do you share anything on your personals that you want to share that? Go ahead, John.
I mean, my Twitter I've kind of put on the back burner because I run the Livid Twitter. I have like 100 followers because I don't even post on it anymore. But Facebook, sure, I've added a lot of friends in the industry on Facebook. So if you just search John Durgin, I mean, if you go to Livid Comics too and find us there, I mean, it's Joel and I running it. So you go. Add me on Facebook. I'll accept you more than likely, unless you get a Giants logo. But no, I'm kidding.
You haters, we're gonna kick your ass eventually when we play. I can't wait now. I want you to, I feel like doing a live podcast with y'all when they're playing, so that we can look at the screen every 5 minutes and say, "Ooh, another touchdown!" There you go, guys. I'm talking shit. I always do this, and I always wind up losing anyway. It's all right, bro. It's what it is. It's my Giants, bro. I'm a masochist. Apparently, I like to be tortured.
Yeah. Hey, they could be good this year. They got Kenny Galladay. He's a good number one.
I know.
If he's healthy.
I know we could be good because you guys just released Cam, so it's like I don't know what the hell you guys are thinking, but hey.
Yeah.
No comment. All I see is this guy shaking his head, and he got red. I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm thinking Kraft mac, and now he needs to find cheese, like Kraft mac and cheese, right?
Hey, where's that queso, yo? I love mac and cheese too, yo. You're making me hungry, folks. This is what you're doing right now. All right, guys, yo, this has been a pleasure, John and Joe, the double J here, yo, for real, of Livid Comics. You guys are awesome, folks. Again, let me just repeat one more time: lividcomics.com. Check them out. Visit the Linktree, visit Livid Comics, and the YouTube, look them up because they do an amazing show. Me, I'm not going to tell you what to do because it's all in the outro. But with that, once again, thank you, Joel. Thank you, John. Wepa! Hasta la próxima, man. Thank you again. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.